What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Live Button Podcast, episode 15. We are going to talk about breaking into YouTube. Per usual, I am joined by my absolutely gorgeous co-host, Dad the Gamer. How you doing, Dad?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. A little bit of a different pace than our last few episodes. We've had quite a few guests on the last, at least the last few episodes, and it's good to, I obviously enjoy having guests on, enjoy a different perspective, but it's good to just go back to the good old roots of when this started. Just you and I, just spending quality time together. I
love it.
We're gonna be talking about breaking into YouTube as a streamer and content creator. And I can't wait to get into this conversation. We were just talking offline about it. And for those that aren't following Pastorgainz and kind of what he's doing on his Pastorgainz Games channel, you need to pay attention to that, even if you don't like Elden Ring content, because
it's crazy.
What is happening on his channel is unreal. I think right now, he's way past 400. And what are you at right now in subs right now?
So right now I think it's 5 weeks, I'm at 440 subs.
5 weeks.
5 or 6 weeks.
Went from 0 to, in 5 weeks, 445 subs.
And this is with minimal short form content on YouTube, with how much they're posting shorts and all this kind of stuff. And we're gonna get into this and exactly what I did, because I want to give you guys the strategy that I used, because I think it's not just for Elden Ring, it's for content as a whole. And if you're aware of it, you can build it into different facets of your content and keep a watchful eye on the horizon, so to speak, when doing YouTube. But when doing content. But when it comes to YouTube, Dad and I have a very interesting perspective, because he has the short game. Like, the shorts are crushing on his channel. He's getting thousands of views on the shorts, consistently posting his Warzone content. They're always getting, anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 views. And then on the other hand, I randomly have stumbled into the long form content goldmine, to where I barely have any shorts, but I'm getting 50 to 60,000 views on a few of my videos after 6 weeks. So we're going to break down what I did. We're going to talk about what Dad's doing. We're just going to talk about the YouTube gremlin, as it were, as a whole, because a lot of content creators are really scared to get into YouTube. And
I want to correct you on something here. You say randomly. I really don't think it's random, because we've had the most common thing that streamers and content creators talk about is failing at things, right? You're going to learn so much from trying something and failing something, failing at doing it. And I don't want to say your other channel is a failure either, because I think you're at 600 something subs. That's bar none, not failing, right? But this content that you're posting on this current channel was, by all intents and purposes, failing on the other channel. So you branched out and did this new channel, and now it's like fire right now, right? So
dude,
I would not say random. It's just, once again, it's everything we talk about in terms of trying things, seeing if it sticks, right? You're always trying to see, hey, what will this work? Will your community or your viewers enjoy this kind of stuff? And you try it, you try it. You're like, okay, this doesn't work. I gotta try this. And obviously, this is clearly working. And then, with the short form for me, I get asked quite a bit about you doing tutorials and videos on my other YouTube channel. For me, honestly, with long form content, it's time. I really don't have the time necessary to produce the long form content. And I've talked quite a bit about, I'm excited about hiring an editor here pretty soon. But yeah, I don't have the time, between, this podcast, which I love doing this podcast. The podcast isn't going anywhere, but I definitely, looking back, I bit off more than I could chew almost with the podcast. And so,
for sure.
I put out, give or take, probably 45 to 50 pieces of short form content a week between the podcast and my own personal content. So I just don't have the time, right? Long form content takes a lot of time and effort into producing, into creating. But for those out there that are maybe thinking of breaking into YouTube as a streamer or content creator, do it. I'm going to take a line from Nike, just do it, because you're never going to regret it. I have so many people that reached out to me on, breaking into YouTube. And I mean, just like anything else, you just have to try it and see what works. But the thing about YouTube is there are so many viewers. There's just, people think that everybody has a YouTube channel. Everybody's producing content. I promise you, that's not the case.
No. Yeah, it's not the case
But yet
at
there
all.
are, I think that by now, there's well over 2 billion people on YouTube. I promise you, there's probably not even a million people providing content on YouTube. There's just far more viewers on YouTube than there are content creators, and there's an opportunity for you to take advantage of that by producing your content and putting it out there.
Dude, for sure. And I think what's really cool about YouTube as well is everyone has a start to their channel, right? Like everyone has a start to their channel, and people don't get into YouTube because like, I don't really know how to video edit very well. My videos are going to suck. Yes, they will. That is normal. You have to start. You're never going to be good at something unless you start it. And dude, even the Elden Ring videos that like, so Dad mentioned that my newer channel that I have that's really taking off has come from failure. He is 100% right. I was uploading Elden Ring videos onto a Twitch Tips channel, and the algorithm was scrambled. Had no idea what I was doing, wasn't posting my videos out. My people who were following me for Twitch tips and tech advice were not there for Elden Ring. So I would upload a video and they would be like, why the heck is this here? This doesn't make any sense for us. And the audience was wrong. So what I did was I switched it. I made a completely different channel, and I was like, okay, let's start this. And even my videos that are really, really bad by my standards, somebody else thinks they're good. Like my very first few videos, and you can actually tell if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at the newer videos, and then every once in a while you see a video that kind of like doesn't follow the same format and feels a little bit chunky and a little bit off. Those are the first videos that I edited, but they're slid in to where it's still providing some kind of value for the people that want the Elden Ring content. So, let's get into the strategy of what I did. I had the vision of I wanted a Elden Ring video, or sorry, I wanted Elden Ring to be in my wheelhouse of stuff that I did. I loved Elden Ring. I streamed it for a little bit and then I stopped streaming it, and I always would play it off stream. And I was like, I want this to be a part of my stuff, but I don't know where to put it because it doesn't fit into TikTok. It doesn't fit into my current YouTube channel. Nobody really on Twitter knows I like Elden Ring. So where does this go? So what I did is I knew that Elden Ring DLC was coming, and I don't know the exact date, but I knew that it was planned. And I was like, okay, here's my goal. I want to have a established YouTube channel with at least 20 to 30 videos before the Elden Ring DLC pops off. So when people do start searching Elden Ring DLC and Elden Ring videos, my stuff has a chance to pop up. And that exact thing happened. The PvP update came out. I had just released 2 videos 2 weeks prior, and people started searching them, and then I got a snowball effect, and pretty much every week now I'm gaining like 150 subscribers on YouTube because I'm riding the wave of people's interest in a thing. And that wave, because I'm gaining this momentum, I have a video coming out every single week from now until March 27th, and that wave will be reignited when the actual Elden Ring DLC comes out, and then the whole thing will snowball again. So if we go by the trajectory that YouTube has set up with 1,000 subscribers and 40,000 hours of watch time, by March or April, I should be monetized on that channel because I'm riding the strategy. I'm moving forward in the strategy to try to get this to work and to get this to snowball into something really, really good. So that's what I did. That strategy can be in any niche. You just have to be aware of what's going on in the content creation world that you want to be a part of, and slowly and strategically just kind of put things in there.
You talked about the creating the second channel, and I did the same thing, right? I literally did a TikTok about this recently, but and I'll use my example. So I was the opposite. My main channel was all Call of Duty stuff, Warzone stuff, and then when I started getting into tutorials and streamer chip stuff, that kind of stuff, I was posting that kind of content, would go nowhere, right? Every, I don't say every, but most of my Warzone videos, they do pretty well, a few thousand views, right? And then I post anything streamer tip or tutorial related, it went nowhere. I got no views. And then what did I do? Same thing. I went out and created a secondary channel. I try to post on that as often as I can. I don't post it as much as I can, probably once, maybe twice a week. But my videos do significantly better on that other channel. Why? Definitely. Because the algorithm knows. It is so much more important to niche down on YouTube versus TikTok. TikTok, you definitely need to niche down, but you can kind of blend in some niches a little bit and have success, right? But on YouTube, you have to niche down and stay within your niche in order to retain your audience, because at this point YouTube has been around, is the game in town, right? Everybody
Yeah.
wants to be YouTube, and they have their algorithm perfected. It is
Mhm.
SEO, right? It is everything that everybody wants their platform to be. And so it just knows when that your content is not what your other content is. And so if you're
Mhm.
out there, if you're a streamer, content creator, and you're producing content that is outside of for example, if you're out there, streamer tips this, streamer tip that, and you're blending it in with your gaming stuff or your stream stuff,
Doesn't
separate
work.
it.
Yeah. Learn from
um
failure.
yeah, learn from failure, 100%. I mean, you're talking to two people who, and once again, listen, my YouTube channel isn't the largest. I think I'm at 705 subs, right? And I almost zero long form content on my main channel, just once again, time. But now you have Pastorgainz out there who's gaining basically 400 subs a month, which is absolutely insane. I mean,
Mhm.
that number's, think about that for a second, because that number is just going to grow as soon as you catch something, and you just keep posting
It
content,
compounds.
and it just
It's
compounds, right?
crazy, dude.
So
It's crazy.
and you talk about monetizing YouTube. I mean, that's everyone's end result, right? YouTube monetization is so crazy because, I mean, we've all been on YouTube. As soon as you like and subscribe to one person's channel, all of a sudden, all of your old videos start popping up onto their feed.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just, what I'm saying? You're like, oh, you know what? I like their stuff. This video from a year ago, right? They're going to go watch it. And it's just, just the compounding of views and monetization. Once you are monetized, you're able to just, you're benefiting from all that.
Well, and the thing is too, the secret that you want, this is what you want people to do. You want people to click on your next video. Like
Yep.
that's the biggest thing. So like one thing that I've implemented in this new channel is when my video is ending, two boxes come up and it's two of my other videos. And it's like, hey, if you liked this video, you'll like
Yeah.
these too. And it gets people to click on your rabbit hole of other content that they might be interested in. The majority of my new content on Elden Ring is all build videos. So if you like how this build went, maybe you'll like how this build went. And it's all about getting people hooked in and getting people convinced that you are an expert in the area that you're trying to get them information in. So I have marketed myself as like, hey, I love Elden Ring and I love to kill bosses real quickly and have fun with the game. This is a build that'll do that. And I mean, all through my comment section, there's the majority, and this is very uncommon for YouTube, the majority of comments are so positive. They're like, man, this is so awesome. What a great build video. Thank you. This is how you explain things. I like this. I like that. And then others are constructive, like, hey, man, just so you know, you could actually put this item here and that item there and switch those out, and you'll get a better result. And the community has been very helpful overall on that YouTube channel in building something off like in this side corner of content that I now have that I didn't expect to have. But the whole thing happened because I was failing. And you have to at least attempt YouTube to fail at it to figure out what doesn't work. It's very rare. And you should expect, by the way, this is just another tangent. You should expect your videos to do not great for a while.
Mr. Beast, he talked about that.
I saw this.
There's been a few of his viral videos, right? If everybody knows who Mr. Beast is, I mean, at this point, he's the master of YouTube. He speaks on YouTube. You shut the hell up and you say, yes, Mr. Beast, I will do that.
Yes.
He said, your first few videos are going to get no views, right? That's just the bottom line. Like you're not going to get
10
views.
to 20 videos or something aren't going to get any views.
And once again, the algorithm is trying to learn, kind of figure out where you're trying to place your content in and where to push your content. A lot of creators say, really, your first 100 videos aren't really going to go anywhere significant. Because once again, the algorithm, for us, we don't have on our main podcast channel, we don't have too many long form videos. I mean, at this point, we're on our 15th episode, so 15 long form episodes. And, obviously we have a ton of shorts, so the shorts help out. But, the YouTube algorithm's still trying to figure us out, right? They know we're a podcast, maybe they're in gaming, right? So, just don't be discouraged when you post to YouTube for your first few videos, because the algorithm's going to try and figure out where to place your videos, where, what audience is it sending it to. And then from there, you keep building off of that. And obviously the algorithm, once again, learns your audience and starts pushing it out to other people.
Now here's the real cool thing though is your goal when getting into YouTube, and I'm talking like your let's say your first 25 videos. Your goal in uploading those first 25 videos is not necessarily views. They're really nice if they happen, by the way. Like it's really
Yeah,
nice when you get your views going and people are commenting
like
and it's awesome.
60,000 views.
Yeah, like 60, dude, it's I don't even know what to say about it. It's freaking crazy. But your goal should be the next video has to have one new thing in it. One thing better than the
Yeah.
last video. Because if you do that, then by the time you've made your 50th video, you're editing like a champ. Your videos look professional. They look like somebody sat down and meticulously did stuff. But no, what's actually happened is you failed 49 times to get that 50th masterpiece, right? And that's content creation in the whole is just falling over yourself again and again and again until you hit gold and strike gold with something and then you run with it. I just happen to be at the right place, the right time with the practiced video editing skills that I've been working on for a year to get to where I'm at currently, which is being definitely broken into the YouTube space of Elden Ring and having a really good time doing it. But what here's some other things I want to talk about as well, because like breaking into YouTube is one thing. Video editing, we're not going to harp on it because everyone knows
Yeah.
if you're going to have a YouTube video, you're probably not going to be paying an editor to edit everything up for you. So you got to do it yourself. But here's the other thing your YouTube videos need. Okay. Here's the main things. Your video could be hot garbage, not great. The editing is terrible. But if your title and your thumbnail
Bro.
are pristine, you will get the clicks. I am by no means a master editor at all, but I am paying somebody to do my thumbnails, which look insane. And I am also searching in my niche, what are the titles that people are clicking on? What are things that are enticing people to click on a video and watch the entire thing? So you have to figure out what people want and you have to get your title to match what they're going to be clicking. Your titles and your thumbnails are not for you, they're for your audience. And if you can figure out how to get good titles and good thumbnails, then your editing in your video can be subpar. But it's just getting people to click on them and start amassing an audience to get that initial push. The other things that your video definitely needs, and you can set all this up in YouTube, you have to have hashtags. And
Yep.
I have to, I'm basing everything subjectively on what I have done. So if you have a difference of opinion, please leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what has worked for you. I would love to learn from you. I would love to know how I'm wrong. But use hashtags. Use 3 hashtags, which are like in your overarching niche. And then some people have argued against this, but the ones that the videos that I use this on do way better than the videos that I don't. And that's tags. You can put like 100 tags or something crazy in your YouTube videos that's just going to help YouTube algorithm
Yep.
place your videos where they need to go. So before I even put a video out, I have a great thumbnail. I have a great title. I have tags. I have hashtags. And then I have a description that just lets people know what I want them to do. So if you can get all of that stuff in and get it, exactly kind of just a step above the competition in your niche, then people will click on your videos.
Once again, Mr. Beast spends, I think he said $15,000 on his thumbnails.
Different tax bracket, bro. Different
15
tax bracket.
different tax brackets, 100%. But
Yeah.
imagine that it's $15,000, and
important.
if you really look at his thumbnails, they're nothing crazy, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, once again, it goes to the importance of what a thumbnail will do for you. For those that are following us on YouTube, you'll probably notice recently we have changed up our thumbnails. And I could say, without a doubt, it has made I don't want to say a massive difference, but, it has made a difference in our views. I think, all of our long form episodes, they've done, I don't know, give or take, what would you say, probably average of maybe 60 viewers or 60
Sure.
views.
Sure. Anywhere from like 24 to 65.
Yeah.
We're like in there
And
somewhere.
previously, we just use a simple template. Every single time it was basically the same thing. We just put the episode name on there, right? Now we're, I don't want to say customize it, but we're creating a unique thumbnail for every single episode. And the very first episode that we did that for, first week, it got 130 views, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's more than double than any other episode that we've got on there. And those other episodes have been on, our YouTube channel for 2+ months now. And so, having a thumbnail that's going to stand out and be different. And once again, the title, that is what's going to drive your audience into your actual video itself. That's why, honestly, so many creators create the thumbnail first and create the title first, then they create the video. I don't know where I've seen that from, but he was another massive YouTube partner.
Oh, I know. I've seen this guy's video too. Yeah,
I
he's like title thumbnail first, and then they wrap a video around that.
yeah. So because your thumbnail, once again, I mean, you're until you have an audience, maybe once you have an audience, you probably can get away with with the terrible thumbnail. But
Sure.
when you're trying to build out your YouTube, right? Like Mr. Beast, he could probably slap anything he wants on his thumbnail at this point, and people are going to click on it, right? But like once you're, as somebody who's struggling to grow, or not say struggling, but as somebody who's growing at a YouTube channel, you probably want your thumbnail to stand out the most. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, use Canva. Use Canva, bro. Dude. I'm telling you right now, Canva has so many. Once again, we're not sponsored by Canva. Let's talk.
If you want to, but if you
Canva,
want
let's
to.
talk. But Canva has all these amazing templates for YouTube thumbnails, and all you have to really do is download the template into Canva, and then you're just changing, the title text. You're changing the picture. You're changing, obviously the information that's relevant to your actual video. But it makes it so easy where you don't have to sit there and go into Photoshop and you're looking at a blank canvas and you're like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And that's where I was, right? That's once again, I'm not producing a lot of long form content, but that's where I was, when I was pushing out a lot of long form content when I had more time. I was just going into Photoshop and I'm staring at a blank canvas and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Canva, no BS, like makes it super easy to get an idea, and you're like, okay, cool. Like I like this template, but I'm going to change this and tweak this and I'm going to make it my own.
Dude, what's really funny is I have actually seen thumbnails on YouTube that I've seen the template on Canva, and the only thing that is switched out is the person's face, and it has like 10,000 views.
Every time.
And I'm like, maybe we should just do that. Like maybe it's already made. Just put your face there and put it up. It's 100%. Better than sitting there looking at a blank canvas and saying, I have no idea what to do. Because what happens is you get content creation paralysis and then you never do anything, which is the same excuse that happens when you go, well, I don't know how to video edit.
Paralysis by analysis.
Right? Like you look at all the things you can't do yet. Well, yeah, of course you can't do them. You haven't tried. You haven't put in the time. You haven't put in the effort. You haven't practiced doing that. I'm not good at making thumbnails right now. I'm just not, which is why I have somebody who makes them for my channel. But as you can see, hopefully I'm making them for the Live Button podcast. Ideally, they will get better over time, right? Like that's the goal, but you got to put something out. You got to try. You got to see what works, what doesn't work, what gets clicks, what doesn't get clicks. And man, YouTube, I'm very curious about it. I'm very curious.
I think you're onto something, man. Like I really do. About the thumbnail thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast also said once again, I don't care who you are. You listen to Mr. Beast, right? I know I mentioned that a couple of times about Mr. Beast this, Mr. Beast that, because he knows what he's talking about. He said he had great advice, and I'm gonna do it. I have intentions on doing it, but he said create 100 thumbnails. Whatever your ideas are for your videos, create 100 thumbnails. And make them better, obviously, every single time. But that gives you practice over the course of time, to improve your thumbnails, right? But the thumbnail and the title, that is where it's at. All right, doesn't matter how good your video really is. If your thumbnail sucks, nobody's clicking on it. Bottom line, nobody's clicking on it. Now, Pastor, I know we've talked, we've had creators on talking about building a team around you. So you have a team around you. Do you feel like sharing maybe how much you pay this person for your thumbnail editor to kind of ease some people into thinking maybe it costs a lot of money to build a team around you?
I will give you a ballpark. I won't give you the actual number. But if you're going to pay an editor, first and foremost, I had to search around for a little bit to find the right style and the right guy that I wanted to use. And after you find him, it like clicks and it's fantastic. So you can pay very little for somebody on Fiverr. Send them an idea, send them something that you are thinking about, and you can give them $20.
Yeah, I was about to say $20. They're gonna. I've seen the thumbnail examples. Like $20, they'll pump out 2-3 thumbnails for you for some videos. And like honestly, 20 bucks is probably, I mean, that's better than me. Like, I think I'm like
Sure.
halfway decent at Canva, but I'll pay $20 because
Exactly.
their videos or that thumbnail looks significantly better than what I can create, you know?
And
So
that's where I was at,
I,
right? Like that's where I
yeah,
was at.
I
So
don't think it costs a lot of money to start building that team around you. And once again, thumbnail is the most important part. Pay somebody 20 bucks on Fiverr, Upwork, whatever website you want to use, because it's probably going to be worth it, because you're going to be like maybe like Pastor, where you're staring at your subscriber count every day going up and up and up and up, and you're like, yo, I'll pay $20 a damn thumbnail because this is
yeah.
amazing.
Well, and that's where it's like I'm trying to figure out, okay, because everything I'm doing is coming from the money that's coming in from Twitch, right? So I'm reinvesting that into what I'm doing, which is what we've talked about before. I'm in the ballpark of like every single month I'm paying around $100 for the thumbnails that
Yeah.
I'm getting. And if you see the thumbnails
I was
on my
about to say,
videos,
go look at the
it's freaking
thumbnails.
worth it. Like
Like,
it's super worth it. And I'll leave my thumbnail artist's name down in the description if you guys want to check him out. I will hype him up all day because he's just killer. He's great to work with. It's been a fantastic experience. The thumbnail editor I had before him, I never got the thumbnails on time. I couldn't get through to him at all. He constantly forgot what he was doing. It was a bad experience.
sure.
But just like what we talked about before, you fail your way into success, right? Like I have failed at finding a few thumbnail editors, and then finally I found one. And that dude, and this is the other thing that was really funny. It was so random because it was one of those Twitter messages where it's like, "Hey man, do you want some thumbnails?" And I was like, first off, I hate like you get all these graphic
All of
designers that
them.
do that all the time. But this was just a dude. He was just a dude who's like,
Yeah.
"Hey man, like I'm a thumbnail artist. I'd love to do some work for you if you wanted to give me a shot." And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like
Yeah.
what's the worst that could happen? Because I just come off of working with a bad thumbnail artist. So I was like,
Yeah.
let's just figure it out. It's been great. So all that to be said, like maybe give him a chance. Maybe give him a chance every now and again. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
It's just I stumbled right into it, stumbled across it, and I was like, this is working out for the better. So like I said, I'm paying for about around $100 a month for 5-6 thumbnails, and it is extraordinary because I'm looking at trying to put down more money to get more thumbnails so I can put more YouTube videos out,
Content,
because
yeah.
the focus for the first time in 3.5 years, almost 4 years of streaming on Twitch or content creation, the focus is no longer on my Twitch stream.
Yeah.
It's
Which
on
is
this
everyone's
other
goal.
thing.
It's everyone's goal.
It's now on this other thing that like I see a lot of really, really awesome potential in. And my Twitch stream is doing great. I'm averaging like 20, 25 people a stream. It's going well. Like everyone's having a good time. I got an awesome community. It's great. And that's not going anywhere. That's just maintaining being cool.
Yep.
But this other venture of YouTube, bro, like it's got me excited again for doing content creation, because I know you can fall into these ruts and you can fall into this like burnout of like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Yeah.
And video editing and YouTube has given me this really cool outlet to be like, hey, by the way, you can be creative again in a different space and have some success in it, which has been pretty cool.
Well, most people are most creative artists, digital creative artists, thumbnails, whatever. And I don't know if this was experienced with you, but I already have my video editor that I'm gonna work with. Super excited to work with him. He creates content for Call of Duty. I did find one, yeah. And so I've already been in contact with him. But
nice.
One of his big selling points is he'll do his first video completely for free, right? He does the thumbnail. He's a big he does for YouTube for quite a few Twitch partners, right? And so super excited about it, but. He, like I said, he offers, hey, you know what, first video I'll do for free. And, based on, once again, I already plan to work with him, but, it's cool to see, hey, you know what, let's do this first video. And I already know, I mean, it's going to be 100 times better than anything I could produce because I've seen his content. And so, once again, you're able to kind of see the work and say, hey, you know what, this is cool because now I'm getting subs. And this is kind of where the difference between Pastor and I is I post a lot of really all my content for YouTube is shorts on really either channel, and I get the consistent subs, right? There's sometimes where I'll get 20 subs a video on my main channel if it's a really good, well edited Call of Duty video, but I'm not getting that traction on the long form, mainly because once again I don't have enough time to produce it, but. Really, if you're trying to get started in YouTube shorts, YouTube, just post some shorts. Post some shorts because it's the best way to start growing your audience is to just just start posting shorts, and then eventually, if you have some time, start posting some long form content, and you're able to grow off of that. And if
For
you're
sure.
fortunate to, like Pastor over here, to be able to capture something, like lightning in a bottle,
Dude,
where
it's
where
crazy.
you're producing that stuff, at that point, I mean, you're all in. I mean, what I'm hoping for is, when I hire this editor, I start getting a lot of these views from my short form into my long form, and then
Sure.
it just goes through the algorithm. I start getting more, more views, more subs, and then I'm pretty close to hitting the 1,000 sub mark. But I know my hours watched is pretty low because I just don't have the long form. I'm hoping
Sure.
it just has that proven results, right? Where I'm like, yo, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pay you to produce a video a week for me, because this right here, this is worth it.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting about this too, because I've heard some, we'll call them creator gurus or whatever on TikTok or whatever, talking about YouTube, and some of them have even gone as far as to say, if your channel on YouTube is majority shorts, don't worry about long form because your current subscribers are
Yeah,
there for your shorts. And then when you try to shove long form content down their throat, they're like, this isn't what I signed up for.
yeah,
But vice versa, in my instance, it's like I'm giving them long form content. I guarantee you they're not going and watching my shorts. I guarantee you. So I have this flip-flopped, like really awesome thing, but also interesting problem. Whereas like dad, on the other hand, has all of these short form videos that are doing very, very well. And it could potentially be where he starts putting these videos out. And granted, if they're professionally edited, bro, they're gonna do just fine. But it's like if you have an audience that is there for one thing and you start trying to give them something else, will it work? And I think this will be a very interesting thing to come back to in a few months when we're like, okay,
yeah,
let's reconvene and ask what happened. Like last time we recorded this was the 15th of January. What happened in April? How
yep,
far along are we? And I think that would be cool for you guys as an audience to hear too, to see how we are doing from like every 4 months to kind of get like a quarterly check-in of like, hey, how's the YouTube journey going? Because like that's what this is for. It's to show you guys that this stuff is possible to do, like to talk about this and go back and forth and be like, okay, this wasn't working for me, but I'm trying something new. And some of it is so you guys don't have to make the same mistakes we did. But the other part is to let you guys know that like when you do make mistakes, especially in YouTube or especially like in content as a whole, it's how you recover from and move forward and adapt. And I think that's what's going to be really cool about YouTube in the next few
yeah.
months.
Look, make mistakes. All right, that's well, I can't say it enough.
Yeah,
Make mistakes. It's gonna happen. We've all been there. I still make mistakes today. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Like 100%, I'm still making mistakes all the time, doing streaming and content creation. But you know what? I learn from it every single time. Every single
Hmm.
time I make a mistake on pushing out a video, whatever, maybe a stream, right? That maybe that's done poorly, whatever the case may be. I learn from it every single time, and I
Hmm.
go back and I'm like, oh, you know what? Okay, I don't. This didn't go well. I'm gonna try this next time, right? And so you're
Yeah,
always trying to learn, evolve in everything that you do. So you know what? Go out there and go make mistakes in your stream. Go make mistakes. Producing content, and then that way, you know what, you can learn from them and produce something else. And don't harp on it so much. Don't get
hmm,
so down on you making mistakes, because, like I said, everybody did it. If you think Tim the
sure.
Tap Man, Doctor Disrespect, are where they are now because they made zero mistakes, I guarantee you, if you ask them, they will tell you when they started streaming that they made countless mistakes. But guess what?
Sure.
They learned and evolved over time, and I mean that's why they are who they are today.
Yeah, I get it. And dude, Tim can't like I was watching some of Tim's stream, it was like a year ago, and he was watching some of his old videos from YouTube and he couldn't even watch them. He thought they were so bad and it was so
Yeah,
cringe and all this kind of stuff. But that's the beauty of like being a content creator is the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, right?
yep,
Like I was saying at the beginning of this, like the very first Elden Ring videos that I made, I rewatched them like 3 months later. They were atrocious.
yeah.
They were so bad, like, I wasn't talking enough, it was boring, I
I'm not
wasn't
saying yeah, like they
entertained.
were atrocious, but I'm just saying yeah, like
Yeah, dude, they were
I
bad, bro. I was gonna tell you about it, but, whatever, dude. No, but it's all part of just attempting, man. Like, I think, honestly, what puts you ahead of other people is just the attempt. I think so many people get so scared to, you know, go on
paralysis
the
by
platform
analysis.
of YouTube because and I guess the argument can be made, like, you are going up against, and I think, Dad, you may have said this in a past podcast episode before, but you are going up against cinema quality YouTube videos at time,
Yeah.
right? Like, you are going up against the highest of the highest quality, except the caveat of that is that may not be what your niche is at all.
Hmm.
You may not need, I gotta be honest with you, the level of thumbnail needed to succeed in the Elden Ring space, it's low. It's very low. The majority of thumbnails, if you look at Elden Ring videos, there's a few by a few creators that are top tier. And there are a lot of them that suck, but still have tens of thousands of views.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like find an area where you think you can succeed, where you may not be going up the biggest and baddest people in YouTube with like the best everything and the millions of dollars to spend on their channel and all this kind of stuff. Dude, maybe you just make really good retro gaming content, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe that's your niche. Maybe you enjoy fitness and you just want to get into the fitness industry and do it that way. Maybe you enjoy tech and you just want to start filming tech. It doesn't matter. The objective is to try, right?
I,
And
I
I
think
think
I think sorry to interrupt. I want to make a point with that. I think
mhm,
that the best thing that TikTok has brought to us now is people really appreciate the less edited content. I know we've talked about that
very
quite a
much
bit,
so.
but people appreciate that, and it brings a level of authenticity
Yep.
that now people really appreciate. Right? People. 3-4 years ago, really, the high quality content always got
Crispy.
views,
Mhm.
right? And the stuff that was filmed with your cell phone, right? The stuff that was like maybe less quality, it was it was terrible, right?
Yeah.
Now I think really people they appreciate that because I would say it's, I don't know, my opinion is it brings it allows you to connect with the audience, right? They're like, hey, you know
Sure.
what, like, this is just a dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is
Mhm.
just a dude with a camera and a computer.
Gives you
I
humanity.
I could appreciate that, right? He's
Yeah.
not sitting there with this crazy setup that I'm never gonna have in my life. Like, this is just a dude with a simple camera with his phone filming content.
Yeah, I get it, and I think there's something to be said for that for sure. And I
Yeah.
think, and this is kind of veering off the beaten path, but I agree this year because you and I talked about this on a past podcast. Is like our level of perfection for the videos we want to put on TikTok. If we want to mass produce, is unrealistic.
Yep.
It just is unrealistic. So I have agreed with myself this year. Anytime somebody asks me a question on TikTok, I'm video responding, and that's content because
Yep.
that breaks me out of this mold of like I have to have all this curated and perfect looking content with CapCut and with DaVinci Resolve and all this stuff. Instead, I will have some of that. But if someone asks me a question, why just type it out when I could just post a video and get
Yep.
more views than
Yep.
the comment would? You know? So it's like
100%.
finding interesting and unique ways to pour back into your content without like destroying yourself is always a good situation. So
Yep.
I think just to kind of wrap things up here about YouTube in general, like if you were to walk away with this podcast with anything that we've said, is just start the attempt. I cannot tell you how many creators were in my comments or in my stream that are just afraid to start YouTube. And I want you to know that's cool. It's cool that you're afraid to do that. It's normal. It's nerve wracking to put yourself out there. I get it. Believe me, I've been putting myself out there in content creation for a while now. You're not always going to be received the best. But the thing about that is like, you're not for everyone, and that's fine,
Yep.
right? Like, not everyone's gonna agree with you. Not everyone is gonna, high five you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But try to get into YouTube, and as
Put yourself
Dad the
out there.
Gamer says, yeah, as Dad the Gamer says, just learn how to video edit. Like video editing is the way of the future if you're a content
The
creator,
way. Yep.
and that's gonna bridge your gap into YouTube 110%.
100%. All right. So that's the end of the episode. I am gonna do the outro, everyone, because I need practice
so
doing the
exciting.
outro because I am terrible. That's why Pastor does the intros and the outros because I'm terrible at doing the intros and the outros. So we're gonna do it real quick. If you guys aren't following the Live Button Pod, make sure you guys check us out on YouTube. If you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple Music, and vice versa. If you guys are watching this on good old YouTube, thank you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. But also, if you guys want to listen to us in the car, make sure you guys check us out on Apple and Spotify.
Sure.
So at the Live Button Pod, Pastor, where can they find you?
Yeah, dude. So if you want to come watch a Twitch stream of mine, ask me content creation questions, or watch some Elden Ring content, or just chat about insanity and nothingness, you can find me at Pastorgainz, twitch.tv/Pastorgainz. And then on all other platforms, it's iampastorgainz is the handle, and it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, I always miss one. What am I missing? What's the? Did I get all those? Twitch,
YouTube,
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Oh, and YouTube. Yeah, duh. What we
duh.
just talked about. So, and YouTube. And then if you want to see what I've been talking about from the actual channel that I've been working on for the Elden Ring content, you can go check out Pastorgainz Games. Take a look at the thumbnails, take a look at the views, the titles, all that kind of stuff. Let me know what you think, obviously, in the comments of the video. That'd be super, super dope. But Dad, where can they find you?
Twitch.tv/TheDadTheGamer, spelled GAM3R. Everything else is TheDadTheGamer. I'm on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TheDadTheGamer, and then streaming with TheDadTheGamer for your tutorials and streaming tips, content. Trying to push out some more long form content, so look out for that kind of stuff. Work's getting a little busy here, so there'll be kind of some difficulties, but I appreciate everybody listening. Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, whatever time you guys are listening to. You guys are on YouTube, thank you, appreciate it. Apple, Spotify, thank you, and have a great day.
Later, guys.